Hello crafters, hello and welcome again to another episode of Plan C, conversations about craft, creativity and connection. I'm your host Wendy Stewart and I'm so thrilled to be here again to bring you another episode today. We can't believe it's the last episode of season 3 of Plan C. What an amazing season it's been. Michelle and I have loved bringing you every session. So please make sure that if you're here joining us live, pop in the comments, say hello, like Christine and Anne, and Kylie and Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. Lovely. And Pam, welcome. Lovely to have you all here with us today. So as you know, everything that you need to know about Plan C and anything happening around Plan C, please make sure you go to the website from picture2pageandbeyond.com.au. Make sure you're signed up for our email so that you are the first to know about everything that's coming up. It's wonderful to have you all here, and I'm so excited because I get to have a very special guest on today. So let me just bring her on. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Wendy.
How are you doing today?
I'm going okay, and I'm so excited to be focusing on my own craft and sharing it with the lovely crafting community.
Awesome. And it's lovely to have you on the other side of the camera as always, Michelle, because it's usually here, we're sitting where I'm sitting, and it's just lovely to have you as a guest on your show, which is wonderful.
I know, and it's been, probably quite a few weeks since I've been on Plan.
I think it's been a little while since you've been our guest today, so it's such a thrill to be able to host you today. So Michelle, do you want to share a little bit about what you and I, to a little bit, is going to be doing today, please?
Yeah, so I'm putting on my mixed media art hat today, and we're talking about using our scraps and leftovers because I don't know about you, but I have trouble throwing away any of my good papers, whether they're gel prints I've made, whether it's paper I've bought, whether it's little bits of ephemera. Anything I keep in case I need to use it. But of course, the problem is it all piles up. So I thought today would be a good opportunity to get some of those scraps out and, upcycle them, turn them into fun little projects rather than just leaving them hidden away or worse, throwing them out.
Definitely. And you and I were having a quick chat before, and I'm not one who hoards all her scraps. I know. Don't look at me like that. I used to, but it just got to this. I had so much. I had this big plastic 12 by 12 box that was just covered in it, and it was just mess, and I couldn't find anything. So I've been really, brutal and ruthless about what I keep. So it's got to be a 5 by 7 piece of cardstock or pattern paper or a 6 by 4 size, something that I can actually use. Having said that, it's as I've done more collage, I've started to create more collage fodder, and that's where I think I need to be using more of my scraps and creating more fodder so that when I'm ready to do an art journal collage or even add to a card or a scrapbook page or anything that I want to do, I'm good to go and I have that. So I'm slowly working my way towards having more material ready to go, ready to use, and so that I'm not spending my time trying to create fodder to create projects, if you know what I mean. And I think that's what's going to be great about today, because hopefully we can inspire everybody to use all the little bits of scraps they have and make some amazing things.
Yeah, so it would be interesting to know from our audience, and please pop it in the comments. So Are you like Wendy? Are you very rational with what you use? Or are you like me and a bit more, I don't want to use the word hoarder, but I mean, sometimes it does get a little bit close sometimes. And I have decided that anything smaller than about an inch, actually probably even smaller than that, maybe half an inch.
Okay.
If you can't get a punch shape out of it, then it's probably too small. But then I even keep the bit on the outside of the punch as well. So I think I have a bit of a challenge.
No, but those are really good. Like, say, you want to spray something and you want to, like a stencil mask, like the negative of the stencil. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic because you can do that, and I've used it for that. But even that, I think you need to be a bit mindful of, like, what are you really going to use? You need to be a bit ruthless, I think, sometimes, and not let all your scraps overwhelm you, kind of thing. That's why I think I stopped doing it. But I know there's lots of people out there who probably are very much in your side of things. And Pam she says she's a bit of a keeper. So, we totally understand that. And that's why...
And part of my problem, because we sort of expanded into a bit more space, so I've been able to keep a little bit more, which again, but also has its challenges, because when I was looking for bits today, I probably went in about 5 or 6 different boxes. It's like, this box has got this in it. Oh, and this one's got this in it. And here's some gel prints. Here's some ephemera. And here's some nice papers. And here's some other things. So, I might need to really reconsider how I keep all my bits and pieces.
On the flip side, Michelle, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, Michelle Duke says she's a bit of a keeper, but Christine says if the scrap is less than the size of a business card, then it goes. So I think that's really, really good.
No, that's too big
It's
for me.
all right, Michelle. It's all right. You're really okay, you know. And I think we've all got to find our own happy medium of what we want between, you know, I think between the hoarding everything and keeping everything and just, you know, using it and being mindful to use it, because you don't want to create so much clutter that when you go to create, you can't find anything that you want to use. So...
And look, that's what we talk about, sort of knowing yourself better. If you're not doing it mindfully, but you're wondering why you're getting overwhelmed, then that's where it could be a problem. But if you're conscious about it and you know that every once in a while you will do something with it, and hopefully we can inspire some of that today, then I think it's okay.
I think you're getting a lot of support in the comments there, Michelle, so it's all good. So yeah, all good. And just hello to everyone who's joining us, Di and Lisa and Carol. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing all your thoughts. Please keep sharing them. Ask any questions you have in the comments, and Michelle and I will definitely do our best to answer them.
We might have to start a keeper support group.
I think so. I think that might be an idea. I think you have enough groups to manage at the moment, so you don't need any more groups, dearest.
True. That is true. Well, we jump into today's project?
Absolutely. So I'm just going to swap the camera over and give you a moment to prep. Off you go, Michelle. So Michelle's going to show us a few ideas of how we can go about utilising our scraps, making the most out of it, and getting the most out of our stash. And, you know, even if we're hoarding, which is all fine, it's okay. Now, what's Michelle Logan saying? She ditches her leftovers box every month to start afresh. That's a fantastic idea, Michelle. I really like that, because I think you don't want to get overwhelmed with everything you have, because then it just, as I said, it's just going to take the fun out of everything. So yes, I do have scraps, but they're very minimal, and I do the best that I can to keep it under control when I can. And I know, like, I'm going to definitely incorporate Michelle Logan's idea that once a month, take the scrap box, see what you're really going to use, empty it out and keep going. So we would love for you all to continue to let us know if you keep scraps, don't keep scraps, in the comments. And Michelle's going to give me a thumbs up as soon as she's ready. Awesome. So here we go. All yours, Michelle. Take it away.
Excellent. Thanks, Wendy. So we're going to look at 4 different projects today. And again, this was becoming bigger than Ben-Hur. So we're going to talk about making some small pieces of art with ATCs and tags. We're going to talk about cutting things up into strips. We're going to be talking about one of my favourite things is using our punches to create stickers.
Oh, gorgeous.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about the collage. Oh, and of course, we've got a little bit of scrapbooking that I've had Wendy's help with as well.
Pleasure, Michelle. Pleasure.
So maybe we'll do that first. So this is, how's that? This is a lovely scrapbooking. Wendy, should we tell them the story? We were talking about what we're going to do. And
yeah,
Wendy
go
said,
on, Michelle.
you can
Tell
do
the story.
scrapbooking.
Tell it, Michelle.
And I just went, I don't scrap. So I needed Wendy to come along and help with that. So thank goodness Wendy has put this collection together. So you want to tell us a bit about the scraps that are here?
Absolutely. So as I said to you, I didn't have a lot of scraps, but yesterday I made a card, an 18th birthday card, which I've posted in the posse for a very special young lady. So I did actually have scraps. And when you said I don't scrapbook, after I picked myself up off the chair and breathed, I thought, I know. And I went to get a stack of photos that I had printed the other day, and this was the first one that came up, and it was not planned. It came, and I looked at what we were wearing, where we were, the scraps I had, and yes, shock horror, it's purple and green, but there's a bit of, aqua teal in there for you, Michelle, especially.
Yeah.
So what I did, I first of all saw that I could make a mat with the photo. I left the white on the photo that I printed off, and then I had those few pieces of paper that I trimmed down, the aqua cardstock, the paper with the stars, and then the purple cardstock. And then, first of all, I layered them onto that big mat, ready to put on the layout. And then I had these strips of paper, as you can see, where the strip where the bling is. There's, yes, it's purple bling, I know, shock horror. And then what I did was the pink piece on the bottom, I used one of my good old Fiskars punches, which is my favourite scallop die punch.
Yeah.
And I punched the border just for a bit of definition and a bit of depth. And then I layered those strips, just with double-sided tape, directly onto the layout. And then I was wondering, I needed a cluster of embellishments somewhere. I needed something more. Now, I only created this yesterday, so I don't have a title yet, but I thought I'll bring out my favorite punch of all times, that flower punch, which I have in like, I think 4 or 5 different sizes. And I thought, okay, Wendy, just 2, don't get crazy. So I made those flowers with the leftovers from the other pieces of paper that were all in that stack that I've got, in that matte stack. And then once I made them, I glued them onto the layout, and I popped a Kaiser. I know you can't really see with the light, but that's actually a very light mint green Diamante on there. So,
this one?
Yeah,
yep.
All those, yeah. Oh, no, you can see. Thank you, Michelle, yeah. So it's coming across more blue, but it's actually turquoise. And then, just for good measure, I had to put a strip of lilac bling onto it because, you know, without bling, there's nothing. And I thought I always like to define my layouts with some form of border or edging. So I got my Stabilo white pen out and just went for it. Added extra dimension down the bottom, extra lines down the bottom, just for a bit of something different to do. So I loved it. It came together really quickly, and it was one of those, don't think about it, don't overthink it, just do and stick it down.
Yeah, and again, it's a fantastic way of celebrating that memory because
Absolutely.
Remember back in May when we all went to a craft show?
Yes, I know. I'm looking forward to having another photo like that soon when we can, Michelle.
Exactly. And did you want to talk about this one as well?
Yes, absolutely. So this is my little nephew, Xander. He's my cousin's son who lives in Adelaide, and I miss him desperately. But he was trying to be a really cool dude here, and he actually said to me, "You never do pictures about me." So this was specially for him. Once again, a very dear friend who's watching on here right now, hi Di, gave me some leftover papers because I don't have a lot of male-themed papers. Most of these were strips. Most of these were, 12 by 6 pieces of paper. I got the photos down, picked my beautiful pattern paper, and just layered it in strips, as you can see. Now, they're not even full strips of the paper because I've managed to camouflage the top photo and the bottom photo.
With this.
Yeah, just half strips, Michelle. That's right. Yep. And I literally had thin strips on the right-hand side of the top photo, so I was able to layer that as well. So, yeah, and then the stickers are just old. The title stickers are old and in my stash. I don't know how long I've had them. So I used those, and then I did a tiny bit of journaling up the top there, which just helped bring the layout together. So I don't know if you could just hold that up to see.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was just a little a journaling card, 5 things I love about you. So there you go. So he was absolutely thrilled with it, and it was, once again, a really quick layout to do.
Excellent. And thank you to Wendy for the scrapbook.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Contribution. Okay, so the first thing, like we said, is going to make some small art. So I'm not sure whether those of you have probably come across ATCs at some stage. So that stands for Artist Trading Cards, and they're, I think it's 3.5 by 2.25. We'll have to get the dimensions.
Yeah, okay,
and the idea of those is that we can make them to swap, or these we use to put into little pockets in a book. And they're just a nice little way of, creating a small piece of art and sharing it. So the other thing, of course, is some little tags. So here's some bits and pieces I've got here. And because I'm such a mixed media person, perhaps before sticking something down, we might do a little bit of stenciling.
Okay.
So I've got here one of my favourite little Art by Marlene stencils. Wow. And I'm really, can you see that? I really like this pattern at the moment. So we might just, like I said, not even put it straight. So sorry for everyone that's finding that a little bit challenging. And I'm going to, I love all my little ink pads. These are the Archival Ink. They're waterproof, so we know with mixed media we can layer them up. Now, if I look at some of the colours I've got, what do I want? Oh, maybe this blue. See how this blue matches this one?
Oh, yeah, go for that, Michelle. That's a
great
idea.
The cobalt. This is one of my favourite blues at the moment. And then I'm just going to get out a sponge, so one of the little sponges with a handle. And again, this just gives us a bit more control over how the ink goes on. The great thing about this is that it dries really quickly, especially when we've got electrical equipment all around us. We don't want to use too much paint.
No.
There we go, and just spread it out there and down this way a little bit.
And I think as we're coming into summer, Michelle, we want projects that will, projects are going to dry quickly, so we need to work quickly, and this is awesome.
Yeah. So there we go. There's our first little layer down. We've got a bit of stenciling on our tag. So let's get this out of the way. So then we've got a few bits and pieces. So this is another bit of Art by Marley. I don't mind that. So maybe Now we can look at there. And when I'm in a hurry, I think it's quite all right to use a gel stick.
Definitely.
Glue stick. The thing that really revolutionised my using of glue sticks, which as silly as it sounds, is to make sure you got some scrap paper, turn it all the way upside down, and then apply it from the middle out. Otherwise, you sort of scuff it. But then also keeping it flat, so you're using that whole top surface of the glue stick.
Definitely. And getting it, you need to get the glue onto the edges to make sure it sticks down to your project.
Yep, exactly. So there we go. Got a little bit of paper down. You can always edge that up a little bit. Fold it round. Now what else have I got? I've got some circles.
Did you punch those circles out, please, Michelle?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later.
Sure,
but yeah,
sorry.
these are circles that we've punched out. So I quite often will turn all my little bits and pieces into something. I've got a heart there that I've punched out of some ephemera. I've got a stray letter N. I don't know where that came from. And I've got this word, sarcastic, that's come from somewhere. So I don't know where that's come from either. So again, we'll just apply. So that's why, like Wendy was saying, it's nice to have this little sort of journal fodder or collage fodder ready to go, because you can audition your pieces. You can stick them here and there. You can sort of say,
definitely.
Now that I've gone with the blue, I'm not so sure about that. But, anyway, don't overthink it. So this has been punched with double-sided adhesive on the back. So this is one of my favourite things. Like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit later,
sure.
Creating stamps or stickers, I should say. There we go. And then we've got our little sarcastic. And that's been, I'm not sure how it's ended up like that, but I like it. So, again, we don't want to overthink any of it. Stick it on. And then a little bit of thinking about our compositions. So, sort of having it through the middle, having it straight. And then, of course, we wouldn't be complete without a little bit of journaling. So our pen, make sure it's not going to blob.
Those are the best pens, those foodable pens.
Yeah. And the good thing about glue sticks is, we can pretty much go straight in.
Absolutely.
Without, we wouldn't want to do this with a gel medium, because we're more likely to ruin our pens. So there we go. And a bit of sarcastic, and maybe let's define this a little bit.
That's looking fantastic, Michelle.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be complicated, that you use up those bits. And, of course, we want a little bit of a border. So since I've used the blue in the back, what I might use, remember there's so many different ways to use your ink pads, and direct to paper, especially if you're in a hurry, just go around.
Beautiful.
The thing that the border does, and again, I'm always amazed even with art journaling, is it really helps to draw your eye in. Now, see how that's sticking over? So what I might do is not go over that and just leave that.
I love that.
Yeah. I'll just, oh no, now I've smudged the pen. It didn't dry properly. Oh dear.
Michelle, would you please be able to hold up that pen to the camera? There's a few people asking what the pen was. It's a foodable pen.
Yep.
It's
just
black.
Give me a minute to see if I can save this.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and it does take a little bit to dry. So yeah, it's a foodball pen, and it is quite thick, and it does take a little bit to dry. So now I've made a bit of a mess of that. So not to worry, we'll set that one aside. Okay, so what is next? First demo, I've already got things from one end to the other.
You're doing well, Michelle. You're doing well.
That's the other problem, juggling all these little bits. Okay, the next thing I had fun doing was, again, because my gel prints, I hate throwing them out. So these ones I've cut into little strips. They're centimetre long strips. And I'm going to turn them into a card. So when I had it just on the white, I thought that wasn't much of a contrast. So I found this bit of black, and it's not quite the same size, but actually I don't mind. I'm going to just go for it and see what sort of thing that gets to. So, Michelle making a card. Who'd have thought?
I know, shock horror.
I know. I'll have to add it into our Happy Mail card spot.
Yes, definitely.
I'm going to add that there. So I use a combination of sort of double-sided tape and glue stick for this one.
Stick, yep, definitely.
So a couple bits of double-sided tape. Now we might just, like I said, it's not wide enough, but that's okay. Let's just make it look more like a strip. like I said, we love our double-sided tape, but it's really unforgiving. So you just want to really make sure you know where you're going to put it before you take the backing off.
100%.
Yep. And then we'll get our scissors. And again, quick and easy card. Yes, we could get a trimmer or a blade, but sometimes scissors work just as well. Okay. There we go. Now all of our strips. Now how did I have them? I think I had.
And Michelle, you said the strips were all from your gel prints that were
Yeah,
left
these
over?
are just gel prints that I've cut out, like I said, to about the width of a card, so just under 10 centimetres. And then put it together like that. And then I thought, well, that's a bit too organised. So I just got a few extra bits in to sort of put here and there, a bit random. Now, the other thing, again, with an engineering background, it always gets frustrating to me if I can't get it perfectly square. So some things to consider is if you can't get it square, then don't even try. So let's put them on a funny angle. So what I was going to do with these is just cut the ends off. See some of them here, the gel print hasn't gone quite to the end.
Yes.
So pull it off and then stick them at a bit of an angle.
Oh, I like that. I really like that.
So rather than trying to get them perfectly spaced and all equal, let's not even try. Let's just put them at a bit of a different angle. So does it matter if they're the same? Who knows? This is the thing, sometimes you can agonise over it, but all we're trying to do is make a quick card, use up our strips. There we go. Oh, now I've got two the same way, so I better do one the opposite way. And again, these were cut with a Creative Memories cutter. You can also just use a blade. I find if you get too much thinner, you do need a blade and a self-healing mat rather than the paper trimmer.
Yes.
But again, give it a try. If it works, it works. I think one of the other things we talked about was paper weaving as well. So, actually weaving the strips in and out of each other.
Absolutely.
It's a really nice little project, but that's a little bit more patience than I have at the moment.
You're doing beautifully, Michelle. And yes, there's lots of lovely ideas for paper weaving that people can search for on the internet, and it gives you an idea of how to do it on a card or, for a scrapbook layout or an art journal page. So feel free to go and Google your heart away and find some great ideas. Yeah,
because there's no reason why you couldn't either put it in the backing card or a bit of the other card. Just go through and layer it up. And it gets quite meditative. You're sort of just looking at the colours and the shapes.
And I think, we all have so much to do every day that it's lovely to do something quick, easy and happy.
Yep.
And you're actually decluttering all your strips as you're going, so that's always a good thing.
Exactly. And who's going to look at a card and go, oh, you've just used leftovers on it? Of course not. No one's going to notice. And really, if you give a card to someone and they say that, then maybe they're on the non-card list from then on.
I think if someone gave me a card like that, I'd be like, wow, they actually took the time to sit down and glue all this stuff down. I'd be more impressed.
Yeah. And, of course, you could always put the double-sided adhesive or double-sided tape on.
I don't think I have the patience for that, Michelle. I'd just get my
trusty
old glue stick and go for it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that can be the challenge sometimes. Just sort of trying to keep the lines a bit parallel. What else? Do you think that's... Oh, do you think you need one more?
Yeah, one more.
One more? Two more?
One more.
Maybe one more? Leave a bit of black at the bottom?
Yeah. You might want to put a sentiment or something on there, Michelle. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, I have a plan for that.
Oh, okay then. Then go for it.
I'm actually thinking now maybe I should have stamped it before I stuck everything on, but that's okay.
Ah, okay. Well,
because
that's the note for next time.
I found this little stamp. Can you see that?
Oh, that is so cute. Does that say smile?
I think it says shine.
Shine? Okay, yeah, shine. Thank you.
So, yeah, okay, look, let's put one more on. Let's go with this one.
Yeah, go that one.
And it's got that little bit of maroon in it, which is really nice. There we go. Now, again, if we weren't doing it live, we'd probably just put a stamping block or something over that just to help keep it down.
Yes.
The gel prints tend to bow a little bit because they've got the paint just on the one side. Okay. And here's an ink pad. Again, if I was doing it properly, I could probably get a block, but, you know, why bother when we can do things quick? Okay. I'm going to pop it there on that light green one. And then, like you said, with that little bit of bling, you could easily go and put some little bits of bling here and there.
Definitely.
Yeah, there we go.
That's
if you don't
very
look too
cute.
close, it looks fairly straight.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Okay, so we've got our tag that I smudged a little bit and a card. So what is our next project? Okay, so we were talking about making stickers. Let me get all this out of the way.
Welcome everyone who's just joined us. Hi Carol. Hi Carolyn. Hi Debbie. Sorry if I missed saying hello to you before, but we're so glad you're here with us and you're joining us. We're doing how to use up all your scraps to make beautiful projects.
We are. So here's a few little bits of gel print, and this is kind of my collection that I've got. So one of my favourite things to do with bits of gel prints is just to keep stamping them with smaller and smaller circles. So I've got heaps of circles in here, things that I've stamped, things that I've cut out at different times, some flowers. So again, when you talk about sort of collage fodder, that's just a way of using up those bits. So if I had something that was this size, I'd then go through, and the great thing about these punches is when you turn them over, you can see where you're going.
Definitely.
So you can make sure, always start with the bigger ones first. So you can get a couple of big ones out and then a couple of small ones. And these are great because they've got a nice handle. So it just makes that a little bit easier to punch. And then I can get a little one out. And like I said, I'd still be thinking, okay, I still think I can get more out of that. I'm not going to throw it out yet. So then I've got a smaller one. Can you see that's a little heart?
Gorgeous.
One of the Carl ones. And then if we just get it in the right spot, sit down so I can use my hand. And then I can get another little bit out.
Cute. Very
Even
cute.
More. And then I still think I haven't got enough out, so I'm going to go get another heart out on this side. Now you can see why I don't throw anything out, because I'm like, I can still just get one more bit out.
I absolutely love this idea.
Yeah. And then if you put the double-sided adhesive on the back, then you've got some stickers ready to go.
Brilliant.
So still, I reckon I can still get more out of that. So I'm going to just get like half a hole, half a circle, because sometimes you just need half a circle. So
yes, you do.
Again, you can line it up. There we go. I've got a nice little half a circle. And, okay, I think I'm now ready to throw that out.
I think you can let it go, Michelle. You can do it. Be brave. Yay!
Here I go. Yay! There we go. So here's a whole heap of, like you said, just little bits and pieces that I've cut out.
Right.
Some of them have double-sided adhesive on it, some don't. But it's just nice to have so many different circles and different prints that you can play with.
So if that tin of yours goes missing, you'll know where it is, right?
Well, there's only two of us here, Wendy, so I know exactly where it's gone. So for those of you that joined us back in Bendigo show last year, 2020, it was last year, we used that project and made a card. So here's all our bits and pieces.
Oh, I'm so excited for this bit, Michelle. I've been excited for all of it, but I'm so looking forward to this.
Oh, cool. So we're going to use, this is one of my favourite Dina Wakely stamp sets. It's got these three fantastic figures, and they're nice because they're not really clear. That's what's great with mixed media sort of scribbly stamps. We've got a couple of different sayings. Yep, they're all there. Excellent. Should have checked that first, shouldn't I? And then we've also got this Craft For You card pack. Look, it's 260 GSM, so it's not the thickest card, but, it's okay. It gets us through.
And Debbie's saying she loved doing the card at Bendigo.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, it's just nice to be able to, again, sometimes you look at these projects, you think, oh, that's rather simple, but what we're teaching here is composition, it's shading. So I've got a couple of different, well, 3 different gel prints. So I've got an orange one, sort of a blue, orange, and a blue. I think you normally need about 3 colours to get this to work. Seems to work the best. So I'm going to cut out a big circle. So this is a 40 millimetre size circle. And then I'll cut out another big one, orange. And then I've got 32 mil. And again, it's got, oh, look at that green and that. That's
that looks so good, Michelle.
And we'll get a couple of these. And again, there's nothing wrong with having a few extra. If we don't use it, we just pop it back into our collection. Come on. Now I've got it stuck. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
What other colours? I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. So what we want to do is really cover about the bottom third. So again, when we talk about our composition, we want about that bottom third to be covered. So, okay, it looks like I'm going to need a couple more, but that's fine because we have it here. So we just keep going.
I haven't seen this project before, Michelle, so I'm fascinated.
Okay. And the cool thing is, like, even though we've got one piece of gel print, like, we're already getting quite different patterns out of it from the different places. So, okay, we've got that, we've got that. Okay, what I think I'm going to need is we've got a really big one. This is 48 millimetres. So this is a really big circle. We've got these in stock as well. So I think we might do that out of the blue. That might just give us a bit more of a foundation. Okay. Everybody move over. Don't crowd. Oh my goodness. I am constantly amazed myself how I end up with such a mess in such a short amount of time.
Michelle, we all do it. Trust me.
If anyone's seen the studio yesterday, I had no idea how I was even going to get the bench clear enough to do a demonstration today.
You did an amazing job. So
yeah. So again, we want to sort of concentrate on the third. So this is a normal A5 card folded into A6. So 105 millimetres by 148. My husband's been learning about card making, so we've had lots of practice on what size all the different things are lately.
Wonderful.
So again, without too much thought, we just want to stick these on, overlap them a bit. And then these ones can come here. Now, again, this is me not wanting to waste anything. So because you can see how the circle's hanging over,
yes,
I'll then cut that off and then reuse that somewhere else.
I like it. I like it.
Nothing is wasted.
No, I love it. And Michelle, I'm absolutely obsessed with circles and hearts. So you're giving me a million ideas of what to do here.
Oh, yeah. It just makes it so easy when you've got, and like I said, whether it's just a few different pieces of off-cut or if you've got some paper that you don't like, of course, you can add a bit of colour to it. Oh, what do we need? I think it's got enough. So you can see you sort of need that range of colours just to make things a bit simpler.
Yes.
What do I want? What do I want? I'll get another bigger circle. I don't know whether you can see this. It's actually got quite a bit of silver in it as well, that one.
We could just catch a glint of it as you punched, Michelle.
It's always surprises us what we have in these gel prints when we go back to them. Since I got that one, stick that there.
And Michelle Logan is sharing with us that she loves her circles, but crosses are her jam at the moment. Totally get that, Michelle.
Yeah, so we've got a lovely Scrap FX stamp with the crosses on it that we've been using a bit lately.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so just trimming it again, fast and crude out the slow and elegant. Oops, on that side. There we go. So now we've got a bit of a base. We've got some circles. And you can see we can still probably get another card or so out of that. So I won't be throwing these out.
Easy,
I'll be getting
definitely.
some more. Okay, so while that's drying, we're then going to stamp one of these figures. And again, we're going to use our Archival Ink in black. We like this waterproof one because we then want to colour it with our Dina Wakley Scribble Sticks, which is, water-soluble pigments. So we want to make sure our ink doesn't run when we use our water-soluble crayons. So, which one? Grab whichever one's there. Sorry about the crinkling.
It's all good.
There we go. And again, the great thing about these scribbly figures is that it kind of doesn't matter. Really good for beginners because they're very forgiving. So we want to put our person on the third of the card. So remember those, we talked about that composition. We want to use it there. Okay. And then while we're stamping, I like this one. It says, we all have a story to tell. And I think that's just,
we sure
that's
do.
part of the reason why we craft is that we like to use it to tell our story. Sometimes it's clearer than others. I'm going to just do a test stamp to see how straight that is. Oh, it's not too bad. There we go. I'm just going to pop that in that other third. And you can see that it's got dots around it. I mean, that's the stamp. So it gives us that grungy thing. So, yeah, really like that. We don't stock a lot of inks, but we do love the archivals for mixed media. Okay, so we'll get that away. We'll put that away. Okay, just giving it that little bit of time to dry. So we want to add a little bit more colour. So I need also some water. Here's some I prepared earlier. So our scribble sticks. So these are cute little crayons. The great thing about the Dina Wakley Scribble Stick is that they match your paint range as well. So we've got all the beautiful colours in scribble sticks. We also have in paints, which is really good for mixed media. So I want to get a couple of colours. Oh, look, there's an orange, maybe the blue. And I wonder, there's a marine. I want something a bit darker to help ground it as well. So, again, we want to get our paintbrush down.
I think the scribble sticks are one of my all-time favourite products ever.
Yeah, look, they sort of come out after there was the distressed crayons, there were the gelatos, which again, good pigments but quite soft. These are a little bit firmer, and we find that it's just because they're smaller as well, it gives us a bit more control. You see that okay? So it's really easy to just go and add that little bit, and then just a paintbrush, dry it off because we don't want it too wet.
Is that a Dina Wakley paintbrush you're using as well,
Yeah, that's
Michelle?
one of the Dina Wakley ones. I just like it because the bristles are quite firm on it. Or if you've got a water pen, and then we're just.
And if all else fails, you can always use your fingers as well, trust me.
Oh, exactly.
I've done that when I've been too guilty to get up and go and get a paintbrush, seriously.
Yeah, and you can see it does have that little bit of extra pigment in it, so you can also just pop that just around that card as well.
Oh,
and just
I love that, yes.
Yeah. And then the other cool thing is that we can get the orange off there. Use the back of the scribble stick. This one, it worked last time I did it. Let's see. So we want to pick up a bit of colour, so we want to activate it. Can you see how that's gone quite wet?
Yes.
And we can put it there. So I want to get sort of a fading effect. So what I want to do is just see if I can do this in one go. So start at the top and then and keep going. There we go. So can you see how that's come out? We've got quite a bit of pigment at the top. And then as we pull it down, it has a little bit less. Now the other thing, again, how are we going for time? Oh, yeah, we've got a bit of time.
We're going well, Michelle. We're going well.
Oh, well. We can be here for as long as we need to. So the other cool thing about circles is that we can use a bit of the soluble crayons to give us a bit of depth.
Yes.
So if we sort of see here, see how this one's sort of sitting behind that? So if it was rounded, like it'd be more of a shadow. So what we can do is actually just use the dark marine colour to just add a little bit of shadow here and there.
Gives it a beautiful bit of definition, Michelle, which I love.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be a bit scary because sometimes it looks a bit dark. But what you find is once you're not focusing on it quite as much. Just helps to give it. And the other thing Oh, I'm not sure when I even learnt this. I think when we were doing all that marker colouring, you got your figure. Sometimes just that little bit of blue helps give it a bit
That's
of a
right.
bite
Yes, yes,
too.
yes.
Now again, you don't want too much, but these will reactivate, so you can sort of come and just fiddle with it a bit. And again, it just helps just to give it that little bit of definition so it sits back up off the edge. And then maybe we need a bit of a border, so whether we... And you can always just use these like normal crayons as well. You don't have to activate them.
Absolutely.
So whether we want it a bit grungy or whether we want it just to... There we go. So there we go. So we've created some fantastic circles with our bits and pieces of gel prints. We've got that stamped figure. We've used the Dina Wakley scribble sticks to add some colour in a few different ways. And there we go. Quite an effective, but still mixed media card. It's given us that ability.
Fabulous.
So have we got time for one more project?
We sure do, Michelle. Go right ahead. And you're getting a lot of love in the comments. And thank you, Di. Yes, definitely great ideas for all of us to incorporate into our crafting practices and use up all those little bits and pieces that we have. And I think Michelle's got one more amazing thing to show us.
I do. I just want to give ourselves some space so I don't make too much mess. So finally, I just have to bring a bit of art journaling. I'm just going to waylay everyone. So this is the gorgeous Rainbow Journal by Art by Marley. And like I said, I've just got so many bits and pieces. I just want to show you just how we, create that background layer. So I'm going to, the thing I love about this is it comes with 5 different journals.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to pull one out. Check I've got it up the right way, open to a random page, and then to create some collage. So I'm going to use my most favourite Crafters Workshop matte gel medium. I love this stuff so much.
Michelle, how many containers of that have we used in the last year and a half?
Yeah, I think this is my 3rd or 4th. And it's just, this is still fairly new, so it's just still really nice consistency. And I just love it. So what I'm going to do, you see that okay?
Yes.
Is put a bit down, then grab one of my little pieces.
And don't think.
Yeah, not think too much. So I've stuck it this way and just put it on. Now the cool thing about this, and because some of this ephemera is quite thin, you want to put the layer down on the bottom and then come and put a layer on top as well. And that'll stop it from wrinkling so much. Look, it'll wrinkle a little bit, but again, we don't want to overthink it.
No.
We just want it. Now I've got these other bits, these Art by Marlene ones. And so what we're doing is not really, we're collaging, but this isn't going to be the final product. This is just that first layer at the bottom of our art journaling. So just tearing it up. It's just, I just find it so relaxing. I could just do this all day. But I won't keep everyone here all day. I realise
that's okay. I think we're all enjoying watching you play.
Yeah, so putting down that little bit first, and because it dries matte, we don't have to be too worried because it won't look shiny when we finish with it. That's just such an important thing to do, with this. So, and again, I've got some circles.
Sorry. And the thing is, as you're saying, just get going. Just start putting things down.
Yeah, not thinking about it. Just all the different colours, the different textures, different fonts as well.
Oh, I love that.
Just really nice looking at the different fonts. Oh, there's that bit. So sometimes I sort of think a bit about it. I sort of want to overlap them a bit. I want to join them. I want to have them hanging off.
Em is sharing with us that she thinks even watching someone else collaging is relaxing. I couldn't agree more with you.
Oh, thanks,
absolutely.
Yeah, it is nice, isn't it? Just to sort of, so like you said, you don't need to be too soft with it. Again, we did a while ago we were doing, I think, rice papers.
Yes, we did. Yes.
This video, and so I've kept all these bits. I mean, this is how tragic I am. Obviously, when we can get back together, we're going to have some intervention. Wendy will have to come and.
I think so, Michelle. I think this is now starting to concern me just a wee tiny bit.
No, but look, we're just going to add.
Joking.
Look,
I'm just joking.
It's still got colour on it. It's got some texture. See, look.
It's beautiful. I'm only teasing you.
that's fine. You're just going to have to carry me out of here with all my stuff.
Pretty
I'm
much.
quite ready
Pretty
to
much. Yep. I just look
move
forward
into
to the
the
day.
home.
I just look forward to the day we can all craft together again.
Oh, exactly. So this week just gone would have been our Papercraft posse.
Yes, it would have.
The mixed media art was going to have Michelle Logan. I think you said Michelle was watching.
Yes,
She
Michelle
was
is
going to
watching.
come and
Yes.
do a class. We had Shirley Dugan come to do a class.
Yeah.
We've had to postpone. So, yeah.
When
as
we
soon
get
as we get
when we
open
get to
again,
do them, it's going to be amazing.
exactly. We're going to have classes. We're going to have shows. So we could just, like we said, just keep going, using it up. And this isn't a finish. We're not trying to create a picture. We're just trying to create some interest so that as we art journal over it, and I can certainly, once I finish this, I can pop some photos in the Papercraft posse as well. To, what else have we got? Yeah. So you can see why we don't want to throw anything away.
No, I get it. I get this. I really do.
Yeah, we just keep tearing. So this art by Marley paper is just really nice and thin. It's just really nice for collage, and it gives a bit of colour. Great to use for colour inspiration as well. Okay, and I'm slowly getting stickier and stickier, so I think I might be at the point.
I think you might have to put down the brush sooner rather than later.
Oh, but Wendy!
Or you're going to get stuck to your art
Look,
journaling.
We got all these little bits that I cut off before. Okay, don't look, everyone. I'm just going to stick these on.
No one's looking.
Oh,
except
good.
we all are. You're doing great, Michelle. It's creating a beautiful base to work on later.
Yeah, exactly. It's just adding a little bit of interest to something that helps guide a colour or a shape, or I don't know, just something there.
And every little bit does add to the project. So don't worry about how small or how big the piece is. Just if you want to put it down on your project, put it down.
Yeah, like we said, that might be getting a little bit small. But I've got this hanging off the end, so we don't want to waste that. Let's just tear that. Stick that something else. But again, it is really important to collage your elements off the edge, or else it starts looking a bit, sort of, it doesn't have that maturity it does when you sort of bring them off. So I've said that, and now I want something to connect that to the edge before we finish. Oh, look, here's another little bit I prepared earlier. It sort of just helps to anchor them off to the edge as well.
I look forward to seeing this piece as it progresses, Michelle. Maybe you could post it in the posse as you're working on it, and the different steps and the stages that it gets to. Would love to see it all.
Yeah, so we've talked about creating tags, creating cards with strips, creating circles, or like you said, you could do the same whether it's with squares or just whatever punches you've got, and keep using smaller and smaller punches.
Definitely.
And then, I can't really see anything on top, we've got that collage element as well. So there we go. I hope we've given you a few ideas of some projects, and I won't put Wendy's scrapbooking back on top.
No, it's fine. It's okay. Thank you. That was absolutely fabulous, Michelle. Now, why don't I give you a moment just to get your camera turned around and we can have a chat. Wasn't that fantastic? So many wonderful ideas to use all those scraps up, or, even create some scraps to make those projects. I think there's so much we can do. There are so many incredible ideas. And don't limit yourself. Don't limit your colors. Don't limit your projects to, just a card or just a scrapbook layout. Put it across everything, a mixed media piece, an art canvas, an art journal page, anything that takes your heart's desire. Just do it. The object of the exercise is to have fun, find some creative space to play in, and just have a great time. And there's no rights or wrongs. There's no art collage police. There's nobody coming to check. If it's making you happy, that's the most important thing, and that's what you need to do. So you don't have to go big. Go work smaller, create smaller, create small tags to start with till you get the hang of it. If this is new to you, just start somewhere and just have fun. So I think Michelle's ready for us. So let me bring her back on camera. That was amazing, Michelle. It was really, really great.
Oh, thanks for that, Wendy. And I hope, like you said, it just gave you some ideas of creating some different pieces, just thinking outside the box, thinking about how you can use those small pieces and, create new projects and just really upcycle them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Michelle, I know there's lots of products that you use today that are in the beautiful Mixed Media Art Studio. So I'd love you to tell people a little bit about it, please.
Yeah, so you can find us all at mixedmediaart.net. That website's been up for nearly 12 years now. It's got so many projects. It's not just all my work.
Yeah.
I've had some wonderful help over the years. And from there, there's a little shop online button, and that takes you over to the store. If you can't find anything, just use the little search bar. I use that most of the time myself. So like we said, we've got inks, we've got gel plates. We really do specialise in art journaling, gel printing, mixed media, canvases, Dina Wakely stuff, Art by Marley, all sorts of things. So, yeah, look at our projects, see what you've got. Any of our projects, we do have a materials list, so you can go and find that in the online store as well. Have any trouble, give me a call. We are doing click and collect at the moment, and then hopefully our retail store will be able to open again soon.
Yeah, and Michelle, you know, we've known Australia Post has been a bit behind, but you actually take your parcels to the post office yourself, so there's no delay in shipping, and you're shipping Australia-wide, so, you know, there's no problem with any of that, so...
Incredibly lucky here in our Mount Waverley. We're not far from the business hub, so we can take them there, which gets them straight to the sorting centre.
It does.
A bit of challenge over the last 2 weeks, but I think we've been able to resolve most of those. So, yeah, please don't let that stop you from supporting small businesses.
Absolutely, absolutely. Michelle, it's been an absolute delight to host you. Sorry, I've said absolute quite a lot, but it has been fantastic to be on the other side of the camera with you. Thank you for showing us such amazing ideas. I learnt a lot. I'm sure everybody learnt a lot. There's a lot of love for you in the comments, and thank you for another wonderful demonstration.
Excellent. Thanks, Wendy, and thanks, everyone. Yeah, please leave some comments. Any questions, you know where to find me,
Awesome.
and I look forward to creating more with you soon.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Michelle. So wasn't that incredible? I hope you had some great ideas. I hope we've motivated you to go and play with some of your, you know, your little scraps that you have and create some projects. Don't forget, please post them in the Papercraft Posse. And if you're not a member of the Papercraft Posse, go in. There's just a couple of questions to answer and Michelle will let you in. And I know Michelle and I will both post up projects that we showed you today into the Posse so you can have a look at it. And yeah, come and join the fun. I just want to say thank you so much for watching another season of Plan C. This is the last episode in this season, so watch this space. Make sure you're signed up for the newsletter for everything else that's coming. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this entire season with us. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope we've brought you inspiration. Thank you to all our amazing guests, retailers who came in, did demos and showed us so many incredible projects and incredible products. So please go and support them. Support all your local retailers. They need you. And we need you, so please leave us comments, share us with your friends, and we look forward to seeing you again. So until then, please look after yourselves, take care, be kind to yourselves always, and this is me signing off. Bye for now.